Alright, so this video is going to be about Leidy Peak and also a section of the Uinta Highline Trail. Before I started the big Leidy Peak section, I went east and did a small section of the Highline Trail, which took me about 4 hours. I had my little backpack on, and then I took this big one to the west. I got on the trail around 5, so it was a lot less time than I needed, but I just started headed on. And here's just kind of the first little area that I went. My backpack was a little heavier than I wanted. And then here is just a little example of what was on this trail, which was these little geocaches the whole way. They went the whole section I was planning, 170 something. Most of them were pretty rusty and full of water because they haven't been found since 2011, most of them, so they're very old. And then here's just kind of getting up to the section where I had to go up this big kind of hill slash mountain. And then here's me just kind of trudging along with my big backpack up this hill. And here's just kind of a little break section I took because it was getting pretty heavy after hiking most of the day already. And then in addition to having this backpack, I was kind of dying a little bit. Kind of saying, why did I do this to myself? It's a bad time. But I persevered and I kept going. And this time I hadn't got any geocaches up to this point, as I just wanted to make as much distance as possible before nightfall came. It was probably around 6 something, 6:30, and I knew it got dark at 9, so I just wanted to keep going as far as I could without wasting time finding these little geocaches along the way. Here on top there's just a little area you can sit in, get away from the wind. It wasn't too windy, but still it was nice to kind of get a little shelter in. And then I actually died right there, so I perished. And here's just a little trail, or not trail marker, a geological survey marker of Leidy Peak. And then here just kind of going back down almost this little slope. You can see just all the mountains all around. They mostly have snow on the sides. None of them really have snow on the ridges, which is good. I was never walking in kind of marshy, wet, which would have been horrible. It was nice and dry. Then here you kind of go into this big section of just kind of flat grass. And off in the distance I see trees, which is good because I needed trees for a fire. So I just wanted to go in that direction. And then I saw a Lake Wilde, so I just started going in that direction. It was 2 miles away. And then there's kind of a little trail that goes down to the little Lake Wilde. There's not really much of a trail anywhere, which is kind of weird how it was just right here. But it kind of brought you in the general direction. Then here is just kind of more of the little area going down, just kind of grassy. And finally I arrived at Lake Wilde. There was no human activity around here. I doubt anyone comes down to this lake. I didn't see any fish in the lake or anything, so I didn't bother putting my pole in. But I did find these little small bushy trees, which is good. I needed big trees for fire, but these did the job. And then I just kind of bundled up these twigs that I found in those bushes to make a fire. It wasn't much, but it's better than nothing. I was kind of above the timberline, so there's not much trees up here. Then I just made a really, really small fire to conserve what twigs I had. I had to cook my meals, and I had to get rid of the mosquitoes with the smoke and potentially scare off animals. I doubt there'd be many animals up this high, but you never know. It's good to just kind of have something to scare them off. It wasn't too cold, so I didn't really need it for the warmth. And then I put some green pine on the fire to get rid of the mosquitoes, and also to stand in to give you a smoky repellent against mosquitoes. Since I was pretty close to the lake, they were kind of swarming to me a bit, but as soon as I had this smoke, they kind of all left because they just don't like the smoke. And here's just a little campfire cooked meal. I just made little rotinis and I boiled them in there. Had a little pill bottle of seasonings. I just had some lake water to boil them in with my little fire, which did the job. It cooked my food. And I think it was a garden variety rotini, so I need those carbs to keep me going. and then I was just really tired. So this is in the morning. It was probably around 6. Then the wind was just really blowing me around, which was not a good sign. You will soon see. So then I quickly packed up to get out of there. And then here's my breakfast. Was a nice little sugary juice. The wind was going crazy at this point. And this is unedited, except I turned the volume down quite a bit. But the wind was just gale force winds blowing me all around. In addition to having a large pack and also going uphill was just terrible because it was blowing me back down. It was like I was going through Hurricane Katrina or something. Just crazy winds on top of these mountains. Not ideal. And then just going back up Leidy Peak. And then here, it was actually pretty hard hiking without boots, but I did it the whole way without a single boot on. And again, Blue Frost Gatorade. If you don't have it, you are a foolish man. And this is my little snack, was chessman, because I'm a big chess player and I like chess. And then here's finally me back at the car, very tired, very sore. Alright, so I rate these hikes using some criteria: solitude, scenery, and difficulty. Solitude is just how little people there are, how kind of alone you can be the whole hike. Scenery is obviously what it looks like, any cool natural features, and difficulty is how hard the hike is. So first off, for solitude, I would give it a 10 because the entire hike west, I didn't see a single person. The only things I saw of human activities were just the signs and occasionally like a little footprint or something in the dirt. Just really kind of desolate out there, which is really nice. But also kind of scary if you're breaking a leg. No one's probably going to find you for a while, so keep that in mind. Then for scenery, I give it a 9 because all around are just amazing mountainous views. It's just really nice and serene. The only reason I didn't give it a solid 10 is because the actual ridgeline is just kind of all the same. Kind of that grassy, rocky, desolate, barren land. But besides that, it's just really great views. You're just on top of this giant mountain range in the Uintas, in just mountains forever. You can't really see anything but just wild forests. And then difficulty, it's kind of hard to rate this one because I was using a backpack, and you can just use like a day hike backpack. But there are a lot of ups and downs on this route. You have to go up to Leidy's Peak, back down, and across kind of treacherous rocks. And if you had a big backpack like me, it'd probably be an 8. But if you were just doing kind of like a day hike, it'd maybe be like a 7 or a 6. But overall, I'd say it's an 8. Nothing too crazy the whole time. It's obviously not like a big mountain peak. It's obviously one of the more easier mountain hikes you can do in the Uintas. You can obviously do a lot harder like King's Peak or something, but you know, kind of long. And also you can go the 100-mile Uinta Highline Trail, and it obviously would be a lot harder. And I only did these 2 relatively short sections of the Highline Trail, which I would give it an 8. So overall, it's a very wild, desolate land. If you want to do like a night stay like I did, kind of like a backpacking mini adventure, I'd do it. Not too crazy, really good views, and yeah, if you're ever in the area, it's about 4 hours from Salt Lake. Try it out. Alright, thanks for watching.